Hey, this next story is called The Tomb, and it's about a kid discovering a lost medieval tomb in Edinburgh, Scotland. It's a very powerful story. It brings out leadership principles of the power of our words and the power of our thoughts. Hope you enjoy this little clip.
Well, I tell you, I can remember an exciting story about two young boys by the name of Keith and Ricky. And Keith and Ricky were two American boys, and they had the pleasure of traveling around to the ancient land of Edinburgh, Scotland. And Keith and Ricky were kind of sitting up on a big hill and kind of overlooking the city and just talk about typical guy stuff, girls and food and girls and food, and they were just kind of talking about their plans for the future. When all of a sudden, out popped out of a little hole down below a little rabbit. And of course, Keith and Ricky started taking pictures of it, how cute little rabbits, and so as soon as the rabbit saw them, it ran back into its hole with fright. Well, let me tell you something about Keith, because this rabbit kind of caught Keith's curiosity. So he starts walking down to the rabbit hole. He's no country boy. He's seen lots and lots of rabbit holes before, but he just wanted to go look into the hole. Well, like I said, let me tell you something about Keith. Keith was the kind of kid that would come up with all these crazy ideas, these crazy concepts, these crazy inventions, and anytime he ever had a crazy idea, he would express it to people. And the only problem with Keith is that anytime he ever had an idea and someone criticized it, he'd always say, yeah, okay, yeah, you're right, man. That was crazy. I'm sorry. That was silly. Oh, man, how dumb can I be? He would always sell himself short. He didn't know how to stand up for what he believed and believed in what he stood up for. No matter how crazy the idea was, he would always sell himself short. Well, anyway, this kind of, like I said, this rabbit kind of caught Keith's curiosity, so he walks down the rabbit hole, and like I said, he's seen lots and lots of rabbit holes before, but as his eyes began to adjust to the darkness, he began to notice something kind of odd about the hole, for the fact that it started off kind of thin, then it kind of opened up, And Keith's imagination began to start getting cranked up. It's like, wait a minute. Here I am in Edinburgh, Scotland, and wait a minute, castles, and wait a minute, Indiana Jones, and maybe this is some kind of a cave or maybe a long-lost tomb. Yeah, maybe this is not a rabbit hole. Yeah, I think this is some kind of a lost tomb or something. So he starts getting all excited, all pumped up. Hey, Ricky, come here and take a look at this thing. I think I may have found some kind of a lost medieval tomb. And Ricky turned around to Keith. Keith, you're an idiot. Come on, man, what are the odds if you find some kind of a lost medieval tomb in Edinburgh, Scotland? Man, you're just some 15-year-old little punk. Come on, man, let's get out of here. That's the stupidest thing I've ever heard in my life. And Keith thought about what Ricky had said, and sure enough, it was crazy. I mean, what are the odds of him finding some kind of a lost medieval tomb in Edinburgh, Scotland? So Keith's like, yeah, you're right, Ricky. I'm sorry, that was stupid. So he starts walking down the bottom of the hill there, and they get about a mile away or so, and finally something just kind of snaps in Keith's mind. And he kind of really says to himself, this realization, this revelation more or less, that it's like, Keith, is this the way life is going to be for you? Is this what life is all about? That the moment you have this great idea and someone criticizes it, you're just going to quit? You're just going to give up? What kind of life is this? Keith, will you please, for once in your life, just believe in yourself? Please. If it's just a rabbit hole, fine. If it's a cave, great. But at least you know. Please, Keith, just once in your lifetime, just believe in yourself. Good gosh, please just try it this one time. So finally I said, Ricky, let's go back up there and maybe at least find a caretaker and see if there's no legend or no wives' tale about caves being around the castle. And Ricky's like, that's fine, Keith. If you want to embarrass yourself, just don't pull me down with you, And so here they are, walking back at the top of the hill. And, I mean, Keith, he's excited. I mean, he's all jacked up. And he realizes the magnitude of this moment, It's just huge. He's never kind of went against someone. So finally, they kind of find the caretaker. And Keith's come up to him and is like, sir, I know it's kind of a crazy idea. And I'm sorry to bother you right now. But is there like an old legend or an old wives' tale about caves or tombs being around this castle? And when the caretaker heard him, his eyes kind of lit up, and he took a step back, and he's like, aye, lad, there is a legend about a cave being around the castle, but people gave up on it hundreds and hundreds of years ago, so this kind of confirmed that maybe this was that long-lost tomb. Maybe Keith has discovered that long-lost tomb. So he's like, sir, I know this is kind of crazy, but I think I may have found it. Can I at least just borrow a flashlight to kind of convince myself to see what it is? Can I just see if it's a tomb or not? And the caretaker, sure, laddie, I'll give you whatever you need. So here they are, Keith and Ricky and the caretaker starts walking back to this cave. And
well, listen, that was just a quick little snip, but I would love the opportunity to share the full story with you and see how this fits well with your group. Look forward to talking with you.